Sean Paul Melito, 600 Northeast 36th Street in Edgewater. Good evening, Madam Chairman and board members. I've looked through the Goody Clancy report. I also think it sounds great. Reads great. It has some good suggestions. And it sounds like we have a good future. I thoroughly support their idea of acquiring more parkland and preserving the current green space that we have. Because with all development, good or seen by others as not good, once a space is gone, it's gone. On page 38 of their report, they reference that new citizens coming into Miami will be demanding more green space as they'll be moving into the city core. On page 73, they give great examples of how that can be done with eminent domain, tax title, impact fees. As I read through here, I should tell you I'm lucky enough to have a new park that opened across the street from my house, and that's Elizabeth Martell Park. There's a good group of us that enjoy that park every day. It's full of grass, it's got huge canopy trees, it's on the water. So after discussing the Goody Clancy plan, a bunch of us come up with 7 points that we think are either missing or deserve further attention. One for sure is to come up with a plan for ensuring safety for pedestrians around a determined radius around any park. This park is across the street from me, and I simply need to walk out, cross the street, go maybe 20 feet, and I'm in the park. I've almost been killed about 3 times. We've seen dogs almost potentially able to run out and get hit by cars. FDOT has just recently redone the street, and true to their form, they have turned 36th Street into a highway. So people are coming down from Biscayne Boulevard onto the Julie Tedder Causeway anywhere from 50, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. So I'm sure that needs to be addressed and included in this plan for parks citywide. And ways to do that would be more marked crosswalks, repeated pedestrian signs when approaching any park, open park space, yield to pedestrians, children crossing, post reduced speed limits, installation of speed control, be that stripes, studs, or pedestrian crossing lights. I think also in our park, another good point that I see also in Bicentennial Park is improvement for safety of people using the park, addition of adequate sound walls along expressways and busy streets to keep cars from potentially flying into the parks, as is the case with our park. Adding adequate floodlighting and cameras if necessary. Use of existing canopy and adult canopy. We've recently had a fiasco on Biscayne Boulevard where they pulled out decades-old royal palms and they plan to replace these trees with saplings. Along with the bonds that have already been secured, I think it's a good idea to look into at least throwing in 1 or 2 full-grown or medium-age canopy trees. Also including no clear cutting, as seems to be the practice in Miami, of cutting down full-grown shade trees and replacing them with saplings. Shade structures should be looked at, and I think a calculation should come up as to the amount of acreage in a park and how much shade structure should be added. You can have well-designed concrete structures with benches and gazebos per acreage. Also, existing public spaces. There are some bayfront walk areas in Edgewater that since the hurricanes last year and some prior to that have been chained closed by the condo developments that have those properties. And also clarification of dog parks. It cites, this is the last point, it cites David Kennedy Park as a good dog park, but then in another part of the plan it mentions that dog parks should not be near the waterfront. In Kennedy Park, it's in the vicinity, so I would imagine being on the water is not a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.